Okay, I think I'm live. I'm gonna figure this out one day. Right now I have my camera holder backwards, so I'm having to hold the camera. So that's a lot of fun. Anyway, it is time for our weekly Q&A. And this week I wanted to talk about Candida and gut dysbiosis. I really wish I could get this to work. Anyway, I don't think I have any questions. So let me know if the Q&As are helpful or not. I used to be able to tell on Facebook who was watching them, what questions people had, and now I can't even tell. And so hopefully you're watching them, and I don't get a lot of comments. I'd love to hear from you. You can DM me, send me messages, email me. Most of you have my email address. Everybody in Facebook does. So just let me know, is this useful or not? Something else I wanted to talk about was I was compared to the vegan teacher this week on YouTube, and I don't know, I have mixed feelings about that. So while I do not eat any animal products, I do not refer to myself as vegan. I eat this way for health. I think that's very important. I love animals and the environment as well, but I think that veganism is a lifestyle. They don't eat honey. We have bees here on our farm. So I hope I don't offend some of you that are vegan. And they look at clothing and leathers and things like that. And so I would not call myself vegan. And I don't think that everyone has to eat like me. Something that I try to get across to everyone is that we are all unique. There is no one size fits all. We were all born into this world in a different manner. I was a C-section. Maybe you were C-section. Maybe you were born through surrogate. Maybe you were breastfed, maybe you were bottle fed, maybe you're on different types of formulas. I have a cousin that was raised on goat's milk. We all started out a different way, and then we were all raised a different way in different environments, and we all have different genes. And I do a lot of genetic analysis with clients to help them find what is the right way for them to eat. It can be very personalized. It depends. Do you have heart history, heart conditions in your history, in your family, in your genetics, cholesterol, high blood pressure, what types of activities are best for you. Anyway, it's all very individualized, so there is no one size fits all. Okay, so that was my little rant for this week. So this week I wanted to talk about Candida. A lot of times we throw that word around. Sometimes people use it for different things. It could be Candida, but it could be another sort of gut overgrowth. What do I mean by that? The microbes. So we have good microbes and we have bad. We have beneficial microbes in our body that help us to create and synthesize different vitamins. They help us with all sorts of different things and keep us healthy. But then if we have damaged tissues or we're sick, they also help to break those things down. But we have we have some that can get could grow out of control, and Candida is one of those. So Candida is in everybody. It's on your skin, it's in your body, and it's nice and happy, and as long as everything is in balance. But when we eat poor foods, we eat certain medications, we're exposed to different toxins, the Candida can get out of control. Maybe some of the good bugs, the very beneficial ones, the healthy ones like a bifido, maybe they have been, you haven't been eating the right foods for those. And so we don't have those in the gut, then Candida can start to creep in and overgrow. Candida loves sugar and dairy. And so if you eat a lot of sugar and a lot of dairy, then there's a more likelihood that you will have a Candida overgrowth. So some of the symptoms that are related to a Candida overgrowth or any gut dysbiosis, might not be Candida, it could be a fungal, it could be a yeast, it could be bacterial. If any of those occur, you could have stomach issues, which we expect. This happens in the intestinal tract, but it could also be infertility, hormonal problems, gas and bloating, anxiety and depression, allergies, or autoimmune illnesses. Autoimmune illnesses are strongly correlated to gut dysbiosis. Maybe Candida, it could be something else. So like I said, Candida is normally in our body, but when we take something like steroids or antibiotics or birth control, those disrupt our system. Antibiotics may kill, like if you look at hand sanitizers, those are an antibiotic. They kill the germs in our hands. They've been very popular during the since 2020. if you read the bottle, it'll say like 97% effective or 99%, kills 99%. So it kills a lot of microbes, but there's still, that 1% or that 3% that don't get killed. And while the other ones are trying to fight their ways back, those are some good microbes. They're trying to get everything back in balance, but some of the harmful ones, the ones that were not killed, can get out of control. So while they're not dangerous at first, they can grow out of control and then they can become dangerous. Even so, your diet, so high sugar, alcohol, we'll talk about some of our foods in a minute, can affect it. Stress. When you're under stress, you create a lot of acid in the body, and that acid can kill some of the beneficial microbes. Your emotions, your toxins, toxic exposures, like I said, steroids, different foods, meds, skincare products, hormone disruptors, hormone medicines. If you're taking a hormone replacement therapy, or maybe you're taking birth control, those things, they alter not just our hormones, they alter the bacteria in the gut as well. So like I said, mostly you have cravings for sugar and dairy when you have a Candida overgrowth. And so it's very important to cut sugar and dairy out of the diet. But when you do that, the cravings become intense and you can feel really, really sick because all of those microbes are screaming, hey, I need my sugar and my dairy. So it can be really difficult to let those go. How is it related to autoimmune disease? So autoimmune diseases are related to leaky gut, intestinal permeability, which is caused by a floral imbalance. So we have this good floral, that's the good microbes going on. I keep looking down like you can see what I'm doing. We have all these good beneficial microbes in the gut. And when things like Candida grow out of control, Candida is nice and round and plump. But when it starts to grow out of control, it can get elongated and actually bore into the intestinal walls and cause holes in the walls. And so we normally do have nutrients that get absorbed into the walls, but now we have larger particles going in. So instead of individual amino acids, we may be having proteins go through. And proteins are what trigger our white blood cells and an immune response. So that's, we have allergies, we have rashes, and it can also trigger autoimmune. So certain proteins, like in gluten, the protein in gluten resembles the protein on your thyroid. And so there's a strong correlation between gluten and autoimmune thyroid disease, because your body, it doesn't know what that protein is. That's not supposed to be inside the body. So it's going to kill it. And so anything that looks like it, it's going to wipe it out or do the best it can to get rid of that. And so it's attacking it, which it accidentally is attacking the thyroid because it thinks it's attacking gluten. But there are other things that can trigger that as well. There are things that cross-react with gluten. So maybe it's not gluten for you, but maybe it's like corn or something, one of the other things. So that's something else that you have to, it's very individual, right? But my point was, that's how autoimmune can get triggered by a microbial overgrowth or a Candida overgrowth. So how do you know, or when should you be checking for an autoimmune disease? Do you have depression, extreme fatigue, co-infections, a lot of muscle and joint pain? Those things are usually can be related to autoimmune. There are other conditions that they can be related to as well. Before I continue, I want to talk about, this is not medical advice. This is education only. So please run any of this information through your medical provider. Do your own research. I'm only one person, so don't take my word for it. Do your due diligence, please. So symptoms of Candida, there are tons of them. It could be gas and bloating, diarrhea and constipation, abdominal pain, burning in the esophagus, burping, headache, muscle pain, fatigue, allergies, ADD and ADHD, memory problems, learning issues. So if you have taken steroids recently, you're on birth control, replacement hormones, pain medications, antibiotics, and you have strong sugar and dairy cravings, then there's a high likelihood that you have gut dysbiosis. And so what can you do about that? Well, there's several books. You can just go to Amazon and Google Candida, and you'll come up with a bunch of diets. Donna Gates is one of them. She has a lot of good information on her website. Gabriel Cousins, he has one. But there are a lot out there, but they basically have the same kind of thing. So first, get rid of sugar and dairy. So those are the first things that you need to let go if you need to get this Candida under control. Now, if there's different bacterial or yeast or fungal overgrowth, then it may take something else, but that's generally the first thing. Take those away. And for general health, those are usually good choices anyway. Eliminate processed foods. Everybody needs to do that anyway. Eliminate sugar, eliminate alcohol. That's difficult for a lot of people as well. Get rid of grains, especially gluten. So grains, they create a lot of sugar too. Mushrooms. That one's controversial. Some people say they're helpful. Some people say they're harmful because they are a fungus. And so that one is kind of iffy. If you don't see results, then that may be something you'll want to eliminate. Now, all of these eliminate temporarily. Some of the things you should probably eliminate for good. Sugar, let's try to get rid of those for good, right? Sweet fruits, peanuts. Peanuts are commonly contaminated with aflatoxin, a mold. And so that's why you let go of peanuts. Anything with yeast, even nutritional yeast, bottled juices. So bottled juices are pasteurized, which kills any of the enzymes in there. And so they're very high in sugar, which would feed the Candida. Kombucha, very high in sugar. Caffeine, pistachios, another one that can have different yeasts and things like that. Nightshades, lectins, and FODMAPs. If you are sensitive to those. Now, if you're not, or you don't know if you're not, then don't eliminate them. But if you're not seeing progress, then you may want to add those. So what should you eat? An alkaline diet. So you've been getting a lot of information about the alkaline diet the last couple of weeks. Living foods, that's your sprouted foods, sprouts, sprouted nuts and seeds and grains, cultured and fermented foods, pomegranate. Pomegranate is wonderful. Garlic, oregano, turmeric, sage, pumpkin seeds, your aromatic herbs like rosemary and thyme and oregano. Those are very beneficial at killing microbes. They're very antioxidant. And then once all of your symptoms are gone, if you've eliminated the things to eliminate, added those things like the pumpkin seeds and those wonderful herbs, and all of your symptoms have disappeared, they need to be gone for about 3 to 4 months to get everything back in balance. And then slowly start introducing foods. Add low sugar fruits. You could eat cooked beans, starchy vegetables, and pseudo grains like buckwheat and quinoa and millet. This is all after 3 months, and if you're feeling really good. And then if you still don't have symptoms after adding those back, then you can add apples and plums and peas and peaches and sweeter fruits like tropical fruits and things like that. So some other tools that can help. First, make sure your bowels are moving. Use something like Dr. Christopher's lower bowel formula, which is not addicting. A lot of laxatives can be. You need things to be moving, but also helping to restore the intestinal lining. So moving those bowels, getting things out at least once a day, hopefully after every large meal. Stay very well hydrated. You want to drink. Lots, at least half your body in water. Donna Gates, who has a book on the anti-Candida diet, says 60% of your body weight in water. So water, no caffeine. And meal spacing. So giving your body plenty of time to clean up between your meals. So hopefully that helps. So if any of you have any further questions about gut dysbiosis or a Candida, any of those things, then feel free to ask questions, send me questions. I love to hear from you. Let me check and see if we have any questions here. I don't know why Facebook isn't showing me doesn't even show me if anybody has seen any of my posts. So hopefully you're seeing my post, and I'd love to hear from you. So if you're watching this later, please let me know, and let me know, should I continue with the Q&As or not? Are you learning anything? And if so, what else would you like to learn about? Anyway, I hope that all of you have a wonderful week, and I will hopefully get back with you next Monday.